HighBridge, a division of recorded books, presents Please Make Me Pretty, I Don't Want to Die. Poems by Tawanda Mulalu, read by Tawanda Mulalu. For Lulama. Let me dance before you, my love. Let me show you the wealth in your house. Hoko, my husband, son of the bull. Let no one uproot the pumpkin. Okot Bitek, Song of Lawino. Summer. Argo, my Argo. The mirror's crow-footed, not me. Afro's gone, Medusa again. Every coil's its own hydra. I'm adventuring with a comb. The sink's full of myths. The myths are growing. Every day I find myself smaller with effort. My life's light with every person who spoke of me. Last night, Achebe tried again, and I nearly heard him. Ngugi refuses these tones, says, this music has the worst sort of oceans beneath it. Besides, his ears are busy with real myths. Being alive must be nice, says the sink basin, filling further with myths. I say, abandon narrative, latch onto landlocked home, forget ships, take planes, land with passport onto place with shore. Forget ships, take planes, land with passport back to place without shore. Forget ships for a day sometime on winter break, during summer, our only seasons here. My body's a crow-footed boat, not me. One time I went blonde. That's a different prow. One time I went with suit jacket. That's a different sail. One time I go and touch the exact difference. Pretty. Sailing. She says, I love you. I say, whose boat? Still life. Onanism, but like coffee without the cream. My skin, yes, but also the pointlessness of our pleasures. In a maple seed shape, we have copper and plastic inside of you. Nothing's growing. I don't finish. So, I'm part of this thing where fish learn to walk. Your first baby pictures look like seahorses. We stop now to consider our lungs. Look at all that we have made, and behold, it is very good. Otherwise the pale beginnings would swim to nowhere, gasping with gills they do not have. Once, before memory, I made this journey and found myself somewhere slapped clean and crying with a new soft bottom. Loneliness. That's one way of seeing it. A palm wet with dyings. Aria. Nigger eye, berries cast dark hooks. Sylvia Plath, Ariel. An aria's any song sympathy with Ophelia. An aria's any darkness, then any light involved in darkness. Then an aria's like a pool of water. Then an aria's like a painting. Then an aria's like any other sound. When you're sleeping, you sound, and the sound sounds up Karen, and the sound is how I would like to paint Karen's sounds in my darkness. The sound is what I would like to be like the mirror that Karen sinks into her darkness. Mirrors are little darknesses, not unlike my mouth, how I try sounds but find water. I hope someday my mouth finds Karen Carpenter, even if my mouth is not a mirror, it is darkness, even if the mirror is where her skin eats itself like paintings. Your skin's not a painting. It doesn't eat itself, it doesn't eat my skin's darkness, and in darkness your skin's also darkness. Your bed sheets make a sound, and the sound sounds up Karen's sounds again. You wake and consider me. You pass me a bottle of water, and I drink it. Then take the bed sheets as water, then take the air as water. And now I'm drinking all of you as a painting, which is when I hear horses, hear Sylvia. She's swallowing everything as paintings in her darkness, as a red eye rising as morning's first sound, then the horse into that red eye, his darkness, then reading her horse into my black eyes, his darkness, then words are sometimes water, though the flow of sound from each to the next. Little sips, then swallowing, then with them we paint each other the darkest darkness, and I paint you. Hear horses, hear you, Ophelia, Karen, Sylvia, so painting over all of us, and the darkness is painting, and the mirror is every little sipping sound in your room's darkness, and the sounds are everywhere, like skin, like in this darkness, how mine is yours, like any other white girl's, an aria. Miscegenation Elegy, after Jericho Brown. Let's talk through my window, what it has to do with God. The stars also suffer. Immense and dead, their gases burn distant like castanets of antebellum teeth. My open window, a synecdoche of country. No matter how much smoke a pig roast won't erupt into a song. How its head won't find more careful music than this apple in my mouth. Pardon his sex, this apple erupts into violets. Historians archive our care as an axe upon a ladybird. Air now through my window what it has to do with Edith strolling away from me. You see, I implant now not only a grandmother, but a garden in your tasteless heart. With just that name and a slant rhyme, Eden, you hear Gaia. Have you heard a person bloom? In that garden, Edith's lips hem. Skyline maintains its mar. The poem required sound from a body. The poem required meter heard by those trees. I gift a woman's voice bottled so cleanly for you, salted, and coo admiringly with tongue. There are other names, Sogolon, Madhavi, Ubume, Lida, Ariel. Hierarchy and how I love. Not violets, no. Implant an ending. Known for representing purity, white flowers are a neutral tone that accents any color. Camellia, wisteria, lust. Connecticut. Mornings, his wife could not remember who my face was. Her face stared at me with a mushy smile while Henry ate the same cornflakes with bananas. I watched the yellow flakes uncrisping in his bowl of milk, his gums too soft to bear them. Henry then put me to work on his fields. I don't know who first said it. Probably his teeth cackled fields to his friend who visited him, limping gently as Henry rolled around in his red tractor. It roared through his backyard, funneling narrow lanes into the black, hot soil. Waddling after him in my white sneakers, I held blue seeds of grass that pricked my fingers. I tossed them over the soil like a flower girl. "Why are they blue?" I asked him. "Fertilizer coating," he said. "Dry mutant rice," said my fizzy mind. Nights, they opened with heavy sweat. He would sit and watch Fox News blare, me next to him, reading a long novel on suffering. But he shouldn't have paid me as a gardener. I dug about as well as a child in a sandbox, shallow, amazed by my skinny handling of that spade. Its crusted rust as dark as my dry skin. No, Henry paid my hands to hold his loneliness, to hear him. I needed a place to stay. He liked to hear me singing off-key in the mornings, taking long, cold showers, and walk down these stairs to him, aging, waiting to plant more blue seeds. Prayer. Move with me, I said to my brain before it startled itself into a mind. I mind myself becoming this person, but without that mind in this world, then there is no world of me. Then there's old myths of me, and they're stuck now inside me. Then sit in churches in my childhood, that's where I learn my looking over other people's shoulders. You did not malintend. It happened in that room. It did not stay in that room. It was as if it were not with me. Open that creamy book. Notice now orangutans in all of us, chimpanzees in some of us, gorillas in half of us, and the other half, dolphins. Somehow we all swim. But oh, I love how dolphins swim, how their blood screams at them when the white moon pulls tides with its myths. And on playgrounds I so badly wanted to be a dolphin. Still my fur, how mightily it weighs me as him. Were I the son of God, and not of my gorilla, would the dolphins still be closest to God? Then the churches still haven't been struck by lightning. Then my country still doesn't have jungles or oceans. Where do we come from? I don't know that strange country. Never heard of her. Never will. Elegy. I have bitten down on the chameleon in my throat. He burst into a single color. Predictably, that lacerated into what white people have since called sincere and quite pained. And black people continued with their day, never having needed to pretend rainbows to sing. I'm flooded with other people's selves, their quiet traumas, their various walking speeds across the river. I've seen someone walk on water. Nor could I blame my father for an event horizon he just happened to have ejaculated me into. Nor could I blame my mother for then having characterized me as ungrateful for the invitation to this party. 90s kids be like, by the time we showed up, all the alcohol was gone. They drowned. My turn-ons include watching capital explode into non-imagination. Initially, my personal finances, yes. And now, gross domestic products, the ozone layer, democracies. It's been a good season these few years. Whereas for those without a sense of humor, the idea of skeletons pole dancing is not appealing. Whereas for those with a sense of humor, the reality of systematic death is also not appealing. Whereas I do not know upon which ground I stand, but it looks a little parched. Return to the subject of my throat, with the additional question of my ownership. If I pay my taxes, do I belong to myself, or do I? You have not attempted to wave away original sin with social contract theory? I mean, all genders get along. If someone else suffers for peace, says every human arrangement of tar, toil, and torture. It's a pretty skyline. In a plane that thunders towards another human arrangement, they stuff me in economy. There is always someone who works harder than me. There is always someone who is more of a morning person. There is always someone else who isn't as pretty as you. Film studies. These black lovers on screen save themselves from concrete. Credits roll. Once, my mother throws a burnt log at my father, and it must be like this, holding on to love's inevitable reel. Once, the projection streams a finger, corked into a heart, knife wound. I tell the doctor, let go. Unmind the dark jet when my finger returns to me. Narrative saves us. If mirrors disappoint, consider white eyes, then flood cinemas with light to drain the mind. So look at trees neutrally, says landscapes. A history book infects them with bodies. I try a different bingo. I don't go on walks depending on the news. There's always news. The lens should not have considered us, but there's a block party in the sky. My ancestors sway. I take pictures to envy white people. To envy myself, says mirrors. Shut this door. Walk away from lectures on stars. Schadenfreude, the physicist, as this universe fails us one last time. The sun's bad season looms calm. Perhaps we send someone to look. Die bravely to prevent supernova. My body floats. Earth forgets me. The producers greenlight a sequel. Watch you finger the burnt popcorn at the bottom. Pokemon Blue. The virus vacated us. The campus filled with parents' cars. The plush ones I ordered off Amazon. I left them in my room, fresh and emptied of me, stuffed them into a donation box. You love Squirtle most of all. His thin, beaky grin, like yours, mouthing that blue turtle as our child. You held him, pushed him off your crotch. The cleanest birth ever, you said. But his shell, there's no way you could birth a shell. Then I said my sister was sliced out wet from my mother's guts. But Squirtle could swim. He swam between us while you slept. Our pillow, I watched him while watching you. Our other children nested on my drawer. Charmander, flame-tailed lizard, and Bulbasaur, corpse lilybud. I met them years ago. thumb sticky on my sister's Game Boy, pixels instructing me to choose one to explore a new world with. I picked Squirtle, trained him to fight other creatures, captured and collected their bodies. Those entire continents of life for me to catch, each one of its own theme music. I wandered everywhere, listening. Hear music everywhere. Hear the campus yard sound the largest brass timpani captured from native land, built by collected slaves. Hear my room swell with shepherd flutes, as if my blackness still sleeps there. Left him. We left them there. He flew home to California. I sleep in a friend's basement. Midnight. I wake from a dream where you birth a blue snail. The world. This morning, this kitchen is problematic. Every burner on the stove is a capitalist. I want to sucker punch the Honey Nut Cheerios, but the chapel echoes. Instead, I invent a new pornography. It is soft, embarrassing, and difficult. New gestures are required to teach it, but for myself, every crucial fingering invites mothballs from behind a Buddha. What comes first? Moth eggs or the statue inviting them? You knew, but I swallowed you yesterday with my palm. Sometimes I hear myself suckling your toes, making oceans. O tides, render me gently. Desire cannot make the world. Pure logic says this egg-soaked bread frying here now is not a paradox, because past implies future. The same egg to crack, to soak, to fry, to mother me. And so Darwin purges toast from his south of France, his anus. I climb inside it in a dream. More grist to mill, so Vaseline. Hold me gentler, as silicon Epicureans garden on Mars, quarter tubers on lunar plains. Whose radishes ravish your teeth tonight? You are too latent inside the spaceship, exhaust gurgling like open balloons, and I am air. How you will hear me whistling while my mind jogs and orbits Saturn's rings, my palm burning on my stovetop. The world does not require you. It is busy and Buddhas you into bad theories, and my heels cannot cynic for much longer. Plymouth looms over Pluto. Someone's skin shivers, but it's 6:45 before light reaches out, says, the question is how the first molecule arose. No God accounts for someone's knowing it takes 7 days before our earth says, with great feeling, I just don't want to be with you anymore. Symphony. Begin, as always, with a voice. How long can a frog in a well last? The well is deep. Friend, what are you doing down there? Friend, when did you start croaking? Friend, how high can you jump? Jump. I could be your princess. I'm cute enough to stop you croaking. These nights, I also find myself croaking. I can't jump. But I could kiss you. But then you kiss me back, green and sloppy. Please, said to no one in particular, don't kiss me. I went walking in search of the sun after dark. Like any lover, I'm into failed experiments. Like any other lover, this is where I succeed best. I called you. I pissed you off. You went to bed. So the sun set. I leave bed. I never minded time. I wanted to break the sun up into amazing bits. Chew sun bits as cereal. Make films with that light. Or rocket ships. Either way, I garden among stars. She thinks I left flowers outside her door. I should leave flowers outside her door. She wanted me to leave flowers outside her door. On February 14th, these flowers I am gifted, ready their wilting. I want you as loud as an orchestra. The quiet is the loudest orchestra. And people are only always as large as duos. But I am also something serious to pay attention to. Should I pay attention to? When I do pay attention, I'm sorry. I don't know when I attend. Maybe, should have been, here. A croak ascends once more from the depths. Hey, I think you're kinda cute. Sorry, I think I should go to bed now. Going back to bed now. I'm awake too loudly in the heavy of noon. What's all this speaking of appropriation? Sounds like violence to me. Please go away. Please come back. When you please come back, look a bit more like the girl with these flowers not gifted from me. Christ, you are a girl with flowers not gifted from me. Wonder now if any story stands, if not on its lone foot. I called you. You storied yourself again. I'm sorry for not reading you. Books are so, thick. Maybe more so than people who at least have the courtesy of talking back. Okay, say courtesy, mean regret. I don't have enough of those, just too many. We are too far in the evolutionary road of things, thought. It's a bit of a curse. I would have preferred touch. I would have preferred us without the anxiety of thought of touch. I did the mean thing to you. Another girl does the meaner thing to me. Easy to not touch, only to invoke the thought of touch. Friend, the frog is croaking for us to touch it. Friend, the croaking is a doubling of our lips. Friend, have I spent too much time with you? We only like to kiss girls. But I'm not a boy. Not much of a request. Not much. Not much of a demand. No, not much. You don't have any flowers for me. The flowers are croaking. The flowers are croaking. Song. Forgive myself for breath and I should die. Self-love an excuse before that exit, this daydream of me ended. A feat parts with weight beyond the hurt of pale bathroom scale.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?